Coming up on the 100K Sunday roast, it is the round 10 version. We celebrate the winners, we roast the losers, and give you all the best odds of the bet you weren't on but wish you were.
Jev, I can guarantee, I can say this hand on my heart, there has never been more money to be made than this week. There are some of the best odds of all time in this week. So make sure you listen. It's been awesome, Jev. We had the 100K Cup on Friday. I'm shattered. The Blues stink.
Swans win the 100K Cup. The Suns are the best Darwin team of all time. The Dogs, absolute little boy Bombers, and West Coast get their first win of the year.
Guys, you know where to find us at 100K Sports. Like and subscribe, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram. Share it along. We're halfway through the season just about. Make sure everything you do, guys, it really helps us out. So cheers, roast on, Bosh.
Let's go.
And now, 100K Sports and PointsBet presents the Sunday Roast.
Welcome back to the 100K Sunday Roast, the show that celebrates the winners and roasts the losers and gives you all the best odds of the bet you weren't on but wish you were. It is the round 10 edition, sponsored by or powered by PointsBet, I should say. All odds you hear today is from PointsBet. Joining me as always, Darcy Ballard. Dobe, how are you, brother?
You can't keep a good man down, Jev. You cannot keep a good man down. Zip and 9, doesn't matter. Backs against the wall. I was as cold as ice. I'm on a heater, Jev. I'm the hottest man in sports betting history at the moment. It is unbelievable. And Jev, the temperature was warm and we knew that the bets were going to hit. Every single time we bet up in the Northern Territory, it's just points.
Yep.
It's points. It was an easy hit. We said we would have hit it. The over, it feels 200. I'm pretty sure that would have hit. So we had the over, Newcomb for 20, Rao for 20, Took for 20 in his 200th. It was a clean sweep, Jev. We're finally on the winners board, and it feels good. Feels good to be back.
I was that confident in you. I said on the 100K show, I guaranteed you won Dope Thursdays this week. It was just a layup, and it just felt like a layup. Let's get into that game. Thursday night, the Suns go to 8-0 in Darwin. They are the 96 Chicago Bulls when they go into Darwin. They are so good there. They take care of the Hawks by 8 points. This game was a banger. 16 goals to 15 goals. Everything about this game was awesome. Thought the Suns were going to win by 100 points there, and it just felt like if Nick Watson wasn't playing, it looked like that game was going to turn to a 78, 80-point win. And he just kept them in it to halftime. They came out after halftime. They started playing better. They just grinded their way back into it, but the Suns were too good in the end, Das. What did you see?
Yeah, you just got to give him credit, don't you? And we had a few guys in our other group chat that were saying, we can't be having primetime footy in Darwin, can we? But I think we can, because the last two games, they haven't been slippery. Like, it's been pretty good conditions, and it's always a shootout,
It's
which is actually
200
really
points scored. Yeah,
it's really good to watch. Like, I've never remembered a ground where there can be a turnover in the back line and you just watch it go end to end.
Yep.
It's super fast. It's good to watch. We saw a few hangers. So touching on your point there before we really get into the Suns and how good that they're actually been playing, let's really talk about how important Nick Watson is as a small forward. So I don't know any others at the moment that are having as much impact. Not maybe so much, he's not kicking 1 million goals a week, but his playmaking ability, his smothers, his tackles, and he literally kept them in it. He literally kept them in the game. So you look at him, I'm going to do a smalls pyramid, and I'll tell you who two of them are. Nick Watson will be in there. Riley West will definitely be in there.
Yep.
And I've got to wait for the end of the round to put in the third, who is in the most form at the moment, because
Ben Long was the game winner.
Well, the only thing is he's a bit tall, isn't he? Like, he plays
plays small, but he flies and marks. He marks it like a tool. You're right. He's just a gun. He's just a general gun.
Plays the pocket position. Yeah. I mean, like, if we're talking about like just a small player, he's unbelievable. So credit to Nick Watson, but it started in the middle, Jev. It started in the furnace. So this is what we saw from Noah Anderson about probably 7 or 8 times last year. And this is the first real time where, 21 disposals at the half. Him and Rao were just getting everything that they wanted from the midfield. Sicily has gone to soup. He actually doesn't know what he's doing at the moment. Like, he actually became the stepladder. I know Cheat put the video up, which is actually hilarious, of the Bunnings, and like you can get the stepladder. But they were just so good from the start. And they just put teams away up there, and they almost scare them. So I would love to see them sell more of their games up in the territory, because it's actually like they're unbeatable. They're actually unbeatable.
If they turn it to 4 a year and they do 2 trips, like they do this trip now, and then in rounds 19 and 20, they go again for another 2 home games in a row, it's curtains. It is curtains. That's 4 wins a year. They can bring anyone up from the AFL and they will beat them. Yeah. You know, I'm the Hawthorn hater on this show, and I don't care. I fucking hate him, and I love how out of form Sicily and Moore are. I don't give a fuck. We have a Hawthorn mate. He knows who he is. I'm not going to mention his name, but he goes, I thought Cam Ward and Cam McKenzie were good. I was happy with the Hawks mids tonight, this and that. They got a fucking bath from Anderson and Rao and Took. Taught a lesson, taken to school, bubble bath, squeaky clean. Anderson might get 4 Brownlow votes and Rao and Toot can share the other 2 and 1 or whatever it is. They got taken to school. And as I said, if it wasn't for Nick Watson, this could have been ugly. I don't know what the hell Sicily's doing. It's like he's not a good forward and he's not a good defender at the moment. He's just caught in between. I don't know what's going on with Dill Moore. He's just out of form now. He looks like he's going free kick hunting, like trying to get the high tackle. I got to give Hawthorn credit getting themselves back in this game, but they were never going to win it. The Suns are too good. They just couldn't stop Anderson. They couldn't stop Rao. They couldn't stop Ben Long. And our man, the Bear, Bailey Humphrey, he kicked his goal. He did the bear time.
Nice.
We were a bit not annoyed, but we did DM him in March saying when we went to Melbourne, Gold Coast, if you kick a snag, do the bear time. He didn't do it. And then Cheats from Type Media got him doing the bear time in the DMs. I'm like, what the hell? We have that now, DMs. Anyway, that's a different story. Anyone you want to roast us?
Yeah, so I just want to pose the question, Jeff. I want to pose the question.
I'm excited about this question. I love this question.
Who is having more of an impact in 2025? Is it Johnny 1K Noble or Dan Houston?
It is 100% John Noble.
100%.
And it's not close. He is playing so much better than Dan Houston. So much better.
And I really want to pose this as well because Dan Houston probably played his best game for the club on the weekend, which makes it even better. And I'm really, because I did want to ask the question because I'm like, Dan Houston's been out of form. So I'm glad Dan had a good game on the weekend because 100% Johnny 1K is having one of the best seasons of a halfback this season. He's running, his efficiency is unbelievable, and he just works.
I've got it up here. He's averaging 26 disposals, 564 metres gained as a halfback, both elite, 19 kicks a game. Like, that is elite.
Yeah. And that's what you want from your halfback. You want them kicking the ball. And he just runs. He runs his ass off. So him and Rioli were awesome. Someone I don't want to roast, Jev, but I just want to put on notice, Mac Andrews has been really quiet this year.
Yeah, and he just looks too skinny, doesn't he? Like, he just looks beatable.
I'm not sure. I just feel he's not having an impact. Like, he's not going near the ball. Like, he had the 9 disposals. Like, that's it.
I agree. I really do agree.
Like, can we get him sitting in the hole a little bit more so he can actually come over and intercept a little bit more, or just have a play on the ball because he's unbelievable in the air. Like, he'd be one of the best interceptors in the game.
Everyone ate. I'm just looking at the stats. Everyone ate on this game.
Yeah.
Except for him with only 9 touches. You and me, so you hit Dope Thursdays. We did turn 20 into 580 on a same game multi.
Yeah, we did.
We were so glad we left Jed Walter out and we didn't have Ben King for 3. We only took him for 2, but we were very happy we did that. I hope other people, if you want a same game multi, tell us what you won on in the comments or DM it to us because it just felt like a game. People were winning same game multis for sure.
100%. This is awesome. And we did say a few weeks ago, Jeb, if you're the Suns, the 2 teams you'd love to play up in the territory, it's the Dogs and it's the Hawks.
Yep.
And they were even saying on the commentary last night, who's better, the Dogs or like Collingwood? They would say Collingwood. Like, who's better, the Dogs or Hawthorn? And they're like, the Dogs. Who's better, the Dogs or Gold Coast? And they're like, the Dogs. Well, Gold Coast just beat them. They're like, yeah, but it's in the territory, which is so true because if I look at the Hawks, and even we said to our Hawks mate, I'm like, you almost just cop this loss because you don't play finals in the territory.
Yes.
You just cop it. Like, if you come back to the G, you'd back yourself 8 times out of 10 to go beat them. So take your win. And I know, but this is where the Suns need to really get that top 4 spot, get the home finals, win them, and then you just hope that you can roll a team on grand final day.
It's the same as the Dogs being unbelievable at Marvel Stadium, but then they go play finals on the G, or the Cats being unbelievable down the road and then they play finals on the G. It's just, it is what it is. Why it's such an advantage having your home ground as the MCG. The Hawthorns next month, so they've just come off a loss to the Suns. They've got the Lions at the MCG, which is going to be a banger next Saturday.
They always get them.
They always get them. But I think the Lions are a different side on the G now, but I can't wait. Game of the year, Friday night, Collingwood on the MCG. I cannot wait for this game. I was thinking about this. Hawthorn are going to run at Collingwood at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it's whether Collingwood can get the turnover. And if they don't, they could beat them by 70 points again, or Collingwood could beat them by 30 points. Like, this is going to be a banger of a game. Then they've got the Dogs under the lid. No one wants the Dogs under the lid. Then they've got Adelaide in Tasmania. So, tough month coming up for Hawthorn. So we're going to find out what they're about. If they're as good as they say they are and the premiership odds say they are, they should go 3-1, but we'll see. That's
an awesome month of footy if you're a general fan. Like, they're all good matchups. So some odds in this one, Jev. By the way, listening into this show, Jev, I've never had to have more notes. You actually couldn't have made more money this weekend.
It's fucked.
There's not a heap of like monster prices. There's a few, but there's so many like 2s and 3s. So Ben Long for 4 goals was $9. Hardwick for 3 goals was $13. Chol for 3 was $3.75. Watson for 3 was $4.25. King for 2, $1.27. Guinea for 2 was $2.50. Ainsworth for 2 was $4.75. Took for 2 was $4.50. And the touches, Noble for 35 was $13. Anderson for 35 was $5. Carl Amon for 30 was $5.50. Newcomb for 25 was only $1.50 and Rao for 25 was $2.10. There are so many 2s and 3s in there.
Yeah.
You could have made an absolute bomb.
Yeah.
A bomb. The best things to bet on, if you get 2 okay teams or you reckon there's going to be an ass kicking under the lid, or you bet on the territory.
Yeah.
Because there is always touches
and every time, if you're going to say you're going to have a $15 same game multi and you go safe, you might go Took for 1, Anderson for 25, always say have a $10 on that, save $5 and just put everything up. We said this. So you go Anderson for 30, you go Took for 2, you go Newcomb for a goal, you go Newcomb for 30. If you like him for 25 on the territory, you take him at the next level up every time. So we were stiff on one multi where we could have won a fortune. Anyway, the Suns are awesome up there. Let's get in the next game, the 100K Cup. The Swans get it done. The Showies, they're not. I don't think we're ever gonna see this game again on Fox Footy, like in the Vault games or anything, or KO. Apart from the fact, I think that was the best wet weather performance by an individual player since Mark McGough 2002 Anzac Day when he won the medal in his debut game. He had a bind. I think Isaac Heaney. Now that I just we were sitting there, we were watching it. We were watching as you were watching as a Carlton supporter. I was watching as a Swan supporter. But his performance in the wet was just like 38, 2 goals, 5. If it was 5 goals, 2, it was nearly the best performance since the year 2000. It was unbelievable to us. Yes, he was gifted one of his goals by that out in the full. He still went back and kicked it, but maybe some of the others he should kick. But just his domination around the whole ground, he was just unbelievable.
He was. Don't get beaten by what you know. Vossi had to have on the whiteboard. All right, they're down Errol. They don't have Papley. There's no McLean. They don't have the captain, Callum Mills. They're playing with some guys around the edges that Cleary. They're playing with Warner's brother just because Chad's that good. They're like, here, let my little brother play. Let Thanos play with us.
Yeah.
So Isaac and Chad, we can't get beaten by those two, and we did. So Isaac started one out in the cage.
Yep.
And he only had 2 touches in the first 12 minutes. And I'm like, has Cox lost them another game in the coach's box?
Yep.
Because he hasn't got him involved enough early. And then the magnet went to the midfield, and then it was all after. So he only had 5 touches in the first quarter, Heaney. Then he went 9 and 1 goal, 15 and 3 points, and then 9 and 1 goal, 1 in the last. So it was just impact from the 15-minute mark onwards. Him and Chad were just waxing on and off, and Jared said it so well in the commentary box. He's like, if you look at the stats after the game, you're going to know how the Swans won this one.
Yeah,
it's Chad and it's Isaac. That was pretty much it.
Yep.
I think you put up a poll. I don't know what it finished on. Who won the battle between Curnow and like you split it down the middle. I think he did some good tackles, took some good intercept marks. Charlie kicked his 3.
Still did some weird shit as well, Charlie. Tom McCart was solid, had a couple kicked on him. Couple he just couldn't stop, like perfect delivery. And then he laid that big tackle in the last quarter, won the ball back. It was a great battle watching him go at it. It was the exact same as Curnow and Wilkie the week before, whereas Curnow had 15 minutes of absolute brilliance, but Wilkie for the duration was probably a bit better, but Carlton won the game. So, it's just it's weird with Kerno right now. Like, he's playing okay. Like, it's okay. 3 goals is always a good game.
Yeah.
But he's playing okay at the moment. When is a game of 7, 20 touches? What Jeremy Cameron did last night, like, is that on the horizon? It has to be. It has to be close.
So. Yeah, and it was an average game, and for the first 15 minutes of the last quarter, I actually don't think Carlton hit a target. So this isn't Vossi's fault. Harry dropped one at centre half forward, and then the Swans kicked a goal off that. So that's one in a transition play we probably should have got forward. But we genuinely did not hit a target for 15 minutes. Me and you were pissing ourselves. We're like, is this the worst display of kicking I've ever seen in my life? Now, I've said it every week. Jesse Motlop, if you're a small, you either need to be crafty, you need to put on pressure, kick goals, scoreboard pressure, or you need pace. This is the second time in 2 weeks he's had the lead running back towards goal where a small forward should be licking their lips, downhill skiing, and he's been beaten twice. I don't know what he brings to the side, Jev. I do not know. You look, I'll say it again, Nick Watson, if he's in a one-on-one race, he's smoking them. He's Jack Higgins smoking him. Like, he gets mowed down.
Do you remember last year when I would say, if you're playing the AFL video game and you're building the perfect player, you're sort of building a 6'4" midfielder, can kick a goal, can take a mark. He's a beautiful kick of the ball. And you're basically building Bontempelli.
Yeah.
You need to build the worst small forward you can. You go, no leg speed, no tricks, can't take a mark, doesn't have a trick bag of any fancy goals. And you're building Jesse Motlop. He's just got nothing.
That's
nothing.
Great.
I know this game's nearly unwatchable again unless you want to watch Heaney's performance. I would challenge anyone to go watch the first 15 minutes of the fourth quarter and send us a video. We'll post it if Carlton hit a target. We are positive they did not hit a target by foot in the first 15 minutes. We were watching like, what the fuck is going on? Where the Swans came out and ramped it up. You could see it. They came out, first 10 minutes, they ramped it up. They're like, we're winning this game. Carlton went the opposite way. It was fucked.
So I do want to have a positive, though. And I don't think a man would do better in a group fitness class than George Hewitt. Can you imagine him rocking up for a 5:45 session? He'd just wear your normal Asics, odd socks, maybe some Diodora shorts and like just a New Balance t-shirt. Just the hair's not done. It's never done. How good would he be in a group fitness session? Just the battle ropes, the assault bike, the kettlebells. Jeff, he's a workhorse, George Hewitt. How good would he be in a group fitness class?
Yeah.
He would dominate an F45 session. He was just in and under. He's so bloody tough, but he just doesn't have enough people to go along with him.
I've got another one, Das. I've got another one. You know, and I know it doesn't sit well with Carlton supporters, how overrated I think Sam Walsh is. And I always have. I just don't think he's that good. And I'd take Will Ashcroft every day of the week. How many? I reckon he's had one absolute banger of a game this year, 37-3 against West Coast. Then he's had one where he was really good, 30 against the Cats.
Yeah, that was a good game.
He just doesn't have any A-grade games. Like, he's just, what is he?
He definitely has it. When he started, when he was winning the Rising Star and like all Australia, he 100% was a gun. This year and the end of last year, he's just been so off platform.
I don't know. I can't use this word. Is it getting to bust territory though? Or is he just too banged up? Or is his first couple of years too good that he can't be a bust?
No,
because it's just like, he's just a guy. He's a jag. Like, he's just a guy out there, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's how he's playing. Like, I've still got faith, the fact that maybe he is just banged up, and I hope that he's just banged up and he can just get his body right, but he's going to have to start putting them together because you can't just keep rolling out the same sides off potential talent and then hoping that they do something different. It's like you know when you got some old heads that like, I can't even think of an example. Like, you expect Dusty to play like prime Dusty last year, but he's just the name of Dusty, if that makes sense. Like,
I watched Lance Franklin the last couple of years.
It's like, oh no, but he's like, you can't move the magnet because of the name.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be something else for him because you can't just have 19 disposals. He had no impact on the game. I know James Jordan went to
James Jordan usually does a good job on him, yeah. But like you look at Ed Richards. Ed Richards has probably flown past him as a footballer.
He has this year for sure.
Like guys like fuck, I just had another one in my head. But like Isaac Rangan's probably become an on-baller and gone past him as a midfielder.
I would take him 100%.
Yeah, I just had another one in my head. I can't remember. But yeah, like guys like Sam Durham are probably having more impact on games than he is. Maybe not last night, but like, you know, that's where he's competing with like Sam Durham now, and it's who was a mid-season draft, not number one picks that he should be, sort of thing. So anyway, bit of a roast, bit of love to Heaney. Got to give Chad some love. Chad's in some good form. Chad is in some good form. I know you. I'm just looking. Remember, we played you round 10 last year and we beat you by 52 points.
That was disgusting. Yeah.
Chad Warner, 3 goals, 2, 28 touches. Isaac Heaney, 3 goals, 1, 24 touches. That was on Friday night at the SCG last year. The whole world saw it. How? Just tell me how it gets to a Friday night game, round 10 at the SCG again, and you let Heaney have 38 and 2, and
Wolsey died on the weekend. He would be turning. Like, that was so fucking weak. Wolsey would be turning. Jev, if he wasn't already there, like, he's gone now, like, he would feel sick that he never has to go watch the Blues again. He was a Carlton legend.
Hawks is going to kill us.
No, he was a Carlton legend, and we put out that fourth quarter performance. That was so weak. Also, Jack Silvani got belted like a pinata at a fat kid's party. Jeff,
that was Scott Sterling. I don't know if you saw he just got belted. He went down for a HIA test. He came back on and just got crunched again. He is going to be in an ice bath in the sauna this week. He needs that much recovery. He is going to be that sore. There was one other.
Can you imagine the flogging his old man's going to give him as well? His old man would hate the fact that he got subbed off.
Just one thing. I'll never forget Wolsey said, and he said it, I reckon 10 years ago, probably 9, 8 years ago. Carlton are going to kill Pat Cripps. Remember when he was young, he used to run around with both shoulders taped, his knee taped, and he'd limp around. Just watch him. He was great in the first quarter. He kicked the 2, wasn't have a heap of possessions. But, like, it looks so hard for him right now. And he is a workhorse, and he's walked off with 26 and 2, and he's played well. But just how hard does it look for him at the moment? Like, he can't get an easy kick. He's just brutal, but it just looks like he's a touch slower than last year.
Yeah.
A bit more banged up. Like, I'm sure the Carlton supporters can see it. It's not last year, and was last year just the peak. Like the absolute peak of the mountain Pat Cripps we're going to see. And now it's not a big decline, but it's just going to be a steady decline from now on. Yeah.
So I won't want to touch on this for too much longer because I know a lot of people don't like the Swans and Carlton when we waffle on. But when they say, let's say young talent coming through. So you got the 2 Camperale boys there, whether they come on. Harry Lemmy kicked 7 in the 2. So there's another forward that maybe he can come in and we can move that magnet around. I don't know exactly how the drafting and if anyone's a big fan of baseline footy, but you've got Harry Dean, Peter Dean's son, apparently meant to be coming through, and then you got the 2 Walker boys the following 2 years after that. They're meant to be top 10 prospects. So let's say they come to the club, but when you look at Scott Pendlebury, so they won the flag in 2023. He was 35. Cripps is 30 at the moment. So I don't think his body's going to be able to perform because he plays a different role to Scott Pendlebury. So let's say we have 3 or 4 more years maximum.
Yeah.
To utilize him, Harry, Charlie,
Wiedering.
So
they're all about 30 at the moment because you got Wiedering, Harry, and Charlie in the one draft.
Yeah,
Walsh the draft before, and then Walsh the draft after, Cripps the draft before. Yeah.
So let's look at those 4. So we've got 4 years. That is what you have to circle because it's like it's 4 more seasons.
Yeah.
Let's almost let's say we put a line through this. You got 4 more cracks at it.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary to think you've only got 4 more attempts with this side before they're done. So
you got to think like I've said a couple of times, like how Geelong won the flag, finished 12th, and then played in a prelim last year. Collingwood won the flag, missed the finals last year, and now, like, look at them this year. You got to think if Carlton finish, You'd nearly rather them finish 12th than finish 8th again, how they did last year, and went up to the Gabba and got pumped. Finish 12th. I think you're going to have to fire Voss and just like not on the thing, but like just looking. Heaney and Warner did the exact same thing last year than they did to you this year. Like everyone knew that was going to happen. Why didn't you stop it? Like
I knew that was going to happen.
Is it going to be finish 12th, get a different coach in the building that's an offensive footballer coach because you've got Wiedering to defend. You've found Silvani at halfback and go have a crack at get your Craig McRae basically. So you've had Voss and he's done what he's done. Now you got to go from Buckley to McRae. You got to go from Voss to I don't know who it is, but someone. And because then you've got the list that all of a sudden it can turn to a premiership and go from no finals wins to a premiership. Well, I think it can because that's what Craig McRae did. So if I'm a Carlton supporter, I've got to think like that. I think it. Like everyone flirts around, but I think it's got to start with sacking Voss. I just think it does. And just wait till the end of the year. And you might finish 9th. You don't make finals. You rest up. You get the surgeries. You go for a big preseason with the boys, and it's a new coach, a new voice, a new game plan, and a new offensive system.
Yeah, well, we need something because we've got to start stacking wins. Do you have any odds in this one?
Yes, I do. So goals, Curnow was $2.15 for 3, which is nice. $2 for him to kick 3 is always nice. Heaney was $2.30 for 2. Nice. Warner was $2.80 for 2. Cripps was $8 for 2. Geez, that's nice. He's kicked it 2 of the last 3 weeks or something.
Nice,
Mackay was $1.85 for 2. I said to you before the game, Justin McInerney gets a shot on goal a week. He kicked a goal. He was $2.75 for a goal. Walsh was $3 for a goal after the siren.
Yep.
Heaney for 35. Well, he had 38. He was $19. First time he's had 30 this season. That was a career high touches. Chera was $5 for 30. Warner was $6.50 for 30. That was the first time he's had 30 this season as well. Cripps was $1.80 for 25 because he's been flirting around like 22 touch marks. So it's good to see him get back up to that 25.
Yeah.
Zard was $1.70 for 20 and McInerney was $1.87 for 20. So you could have made some good money in that game. Me being a dumb idiot Swan supporter, I put Aaron Francis in way too many of our multis and he went back at fine, but he nearly got killed and he got subbed off. And unfortunately, PointsBet don't void bets when he got subbed off at half time. How pink did he go?
He went pink.
Did anyone else's TV show Aaron Francis pink? He was, I don't know if it was Darcy's TV. We were watching this game together. He was pink. God,
his skin went pink. He went salmon.
Oh, God. All right, let's get into Saturday footy, Darcy. So you know how I always say primary school fate, annual events, primary school fate.
You always say it.
Buddy, and Swans beat the Bombers, and I embarrassed myself last week. The Pies beat the Crows every goddamn year.
Yep.
They're beating them again on the MCG by 10 points. What is it? 11 times in a row undefeated against the Pies.
They had a draw. So, yeah, they haven't lost in their last 11 matches against Adelaide because one was a draw. So they've won 10 out of their last 11, but they haven't lost in their last 11.
And they haven't beaten them since 2016. 2016. That's a long time ago.
That's a fathering.
That's the year the Dogs won the flag.
That's basically a fathering.
That's a long time. So that is a lot. So the Pies get it done, Das. I was watching a bit of local footy, watching this on my phone a bit. So tell me about this game.
This is a fantastic winter's game of footy, MCG. You just know, like, it was pretty scrappy at times, but that's what you want. Like, that's what you want. It's not champagne football. It's tough. Braden Maynard was the standing captain, and he stood up straight away. Josh Dacos is just stepping up. Every single time Nick's a little bit underdone, Nick was still good, but he was like hobbling around. Obviously, he's still a little bit injured from the game against Freo, a little bit tight. Josh was absolutely everywhere. He had like 13 disposals in the first, like midway through the second quarter. Just everything he touched. And they're not dinky little touches as well. He gets himself out of trouble, pulls kicks inside. He's happy to bite off those kicks. And that's why these teams are so good. Carlton can't, because for years we had like Lockie O'Brien and you've got these other midfielders that just can't kick the ball. They've got such a luxury having Josh Dacos, Nick Dacos, Steele Sidebottom, Scott Pendlebury, and actually got these elite ball users. Crisp has been really good this year as well. He's been super tough, but it was just a battle in the end. The midfield battle, whoever won that, and they were getting territory up forward. Thilthorpe, Jev, just with all the MCG, it was a day that he would step out because he's on Frampton. We're like, he'll just take him to the cleaners. He took a few marks, but he was up the ground a little bit more. It wasn't until Fogarty kicked 3 in a row in the second quarter that they actually looked like a threat.
Yeah.
But this was such a professional win. Collingwood just got out to a lead, and then there was 10 minutes to go, and Gary Lyons said it perfectly. They're like, because they hold up so well defensively, they know that Adelaide are trying to hit them with everything they got and they can't score. Like they weren't scoring. So then once Collingwood kicked a few more goals, they even went a little bit more on the attack because they're like, fuck it, we'll try and ice the game now. And it just took the Crows too long to adjust. It looks like they were either going to try and come back and win or lose by 40. And then they end up kicking a few late, but it was too late in the piece. Jordan Dawson was awesome again. I would argue he's like top 3, top 4 players in the comp right now. Like whether you've got Bond Day,
top 5, yeah.
Probably have Bailey Smith and then Jordan Dawson.
Yeah.
Again, when they needed someone, they played him one out in the cage.
Yeah.
They played Jordan Dawson one out in the cage. And
when they've got Fog, Tex, I know Tex got subbed out or injured.
It's like we're going to sacrifice arguably one of our best midfielders, almost like what Melbourne went to do with Petrarca. It's just like, because if we win it, we want our best player up forward that can actually kick us the goal. Rankin was good. I like him a lot more running around the midfield, same as Shai Bolton. But Maynard was awesome. They just, when they need, so this is why Collingwood is so good. They don't have a million goal kickers. Like you look at the stat sheet. Hoskinelli kicked 2. Jamie Elliott 1. McCreary 1. Bobby Hill 1. Mychek 1. Houston 1. Cameron 1. Crisp 1. Still Sidebottom 1. Membry 1. Who do you stop?
Yeah.
Who do you actually go to? And this is the knock on them in 2022, 2023. It's like, can they actually win a premiership when they don't have a key forward? They've only got Mychek that should be playing a third in any other side. But when you've got so many mouths to feed, it's so unpredictable coming into the forward line. And then the midfielders get involved. So it was just such a good team win. Adelaide left a little bit too late. Like there was like 5 minutes to go and there was a bit in it, but they're such a good team, Jev. Situationally, like they're going to be hard to beat. And now they've got the box seat.
Yeah, love or hate Collingwood. They have it's a football program. Like I've been saying this for a couple of weeks. This is just a program like Geelong have. Like they're going to be good forever because they've installed their like how they defend as a club. And then it doesn't matter who kicks the goals. And as they always celebrate the little things. So it's not about Mychek kicking 5 or Ali kicking 5. It's about Collingwood Magpies kicking the goal. And it doesn't matter who kicks them, they just kick them. How was Nick? How was Nick in the way? Did Neil Bullen go to him?
He had a few guys just sort of running. Yeah, Neil Bullen was with him for a bit. But a few guys would just sort of run with him. He was... Because at the start, he struggled to get into it. It's almost like, fuck it, I'll just take a defender out. Yeah. And then I'll just let Josh cook. Like, Josh was going to work.
Cooking.
Yeah. Josh was going to work. Still side bottom, kick a goal. Penderbury was doing well. Like, it was just an awesome team win.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the stats. It's like nothing jumps off the page apart from Josh Dakers is 29, but they just got the win. They just know how to win.
Same as we said the other week. They're in the game of winning premierships.
Yeah. Yes.
They don't care. Like, they're just going to beat you. So they're going to come out. They're like, all right, we're going to use our game plan. Then as soon as they were up, they're like, all right, let's take time off the clock.
And there's so much because
when they take time off the clock, they don't park the bus where the other team's like, all right, we can go. They still attack, but they just know how to take 10 minutes off.
They know how to win it back at half back and attack different ways. Yeah, and this just shows like their premiership and deep in finals experience. And then Adelaide, who haven't played a final since 2017, where we all love Adelaide and we love their list and we love their forwards, but like they still need to learn some of this situational stuff. That could have easily been a prelim yesterday, and that exact scoreline happens again. Collingwood just keep them to 68, win by 10 points, and Thilthorpe didn't fire a shot. It's like Adelaide was such a sucker bet yesterday. I was looking at them like, no Darcy Moore. Billy Frampton's going to have to play on either Fogg, Thilthorpe, Tex. One of them's going to get off the chain. They're going to get them. They're all going to walk off with 3, but you just got to give them credit. Like Frampton just beat Thilthorpe head to head. Fogarty was good, wasn't good enough. And yeah, just good on him.
I'm so jealous. Collingwood are everything I wish Carlton were.
Exactly. And like with your list, and when you like Collingwood would kill for Curnow and Mackay, like the Swans would, but they just win with no names, and they just system.
It's unbelievable. Like it does my head in.
You got some odds for this game. There was money to be made, wasn't there?
Money to be made. So Fogarty for 4 was $9. Saligo for 2 goals was $10. Hoskinelli for 2 was $5.50. Now, there's a million blokes that kicked one goal that weren't big. They're like $1.70s, but the big one was Dan Houston for a goal was $3.50, which is good if you like the halfbackers for a snag. Put them in. Morgs absolutely loves them. And then the touches weren't a heap in this one. But Josh Dacos for 25 was $1.42. Nick was $1.20. Dawson was $2.10 for 25.
That's nice.
Laird for 25 was $1.95. Rankin for 25 was $2.50. Braden Maynard for 20 was $3.75 in the captain's game, so I'm sure a lot of people would have had that. Mitch Hinge was $2 for 20. Peatling $1.55 for 20. Sidebottom and Pendlebury were both $1.18 for 20 touches.
I've got one quickly before we move to the next game. For the NFL fans out there, Travis Hunter. We all know Travis Hunter. I think Jordan Dawson is the Travis Hunter of the AFL. He plays all three phases at a high level.
Yep.
If he goes beyond the ball, he'll have 30 as a halfback, dominate, can defend. If he goes ahead of the ball, he kicks goals. He's a midfielder. He is the best in the comp at playing all three phases of AFL, I reckon. He's number one in the comp right now.
Only because you need him to. Isaac Heaney could play halfback.
Yeah, he could. He could.
Imagine him intercepting off the halfback line.
He's not as beautiful as a kick.
Yeah,
And quick decision maker is Jordan Dawson. Jordan Dawson's a beautiful, just kicking decision maker. But good game. I know for a fact, we'll move on. Jeremy Cameron gets the fixture at the start of the year and he goes, there's nothing more I like playing than Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. He circles it. This was a dog walking.
Yeah.
Port at home kicked 5 goals, 39 points. Jez kicked 7 himself, Das. He has beaten him by himself. The Cats have just dog walked Port Adelaide. The Ken Hinkley conversation is going to start burning again this week, is that you just move on from him now. The Port Adelaide have just ruled themselves out of anything this year. It's not even, they might just feature in a final, but nothing else. It is done.
100%. They're done. What's the point? They're not winning the flag. They're not making another prelim. So do you just let him ride out the year? Or do you let the other guy take over the reins? So, Dev, there was more hamstrings in this game than highlights apart from Jez and Bailey Smith. Horn Francis went down. Danger went down. I'm not sure how bad it is. I haven't really heard the report. But this makes me think. Jez has literally taken a backward step this year to allow Danger to be the main forward.
Yep.
And he's obviously taken that team role on. And then as Danger's gone down, he's like, I've got to be the key forward again. And then comes out and kicks 7.
And just go, come here, radical.
You know what I mean?
Come with me, yeah.
So, and it was interesting hearing, we'll get on to Ollie Dempsey. We may as well go there now. We've been saying he's the best bet in sports for a reason. He kicks 2 goals. He kicked 17 goals in his last 6 games. And do they play him? Do they get someone else to play the wing and just play him out of the cage? Get him to play the danger role? Because he's an aerial threat and he's unbelievable on the ground.
2 goals, 24 touches as a 20-year-old or wherever he's an absolute star. He has, you can go get permanent marker Darcy out and write his name on the wing for All-Australian. There's no one even close to him as a winger in the All-Australian at the moment. He's unbelievable.
He's a gun, isn't he?
He's 22 years old. Yeah, he's a little bit older. What a player. Of course Geelong have found him, buddy, off the scrap heap. He was bowling wrong'uns down the nets one day, and what happened? Matty Scarlett said, this bloke looks like a footballer.
He's a talent scout, isn't he, Matty Scarlett?
They've gotten him in, 187 centimetres, 22 years old winger, 2 goals, 24 touches. He's a jet. Yeah. He's a Bible pusher, so people just love him.
Bible pusher?
I'm a Bible basher, isn't that what it's called?
I thought you said it was a Bible pusher.
No, I did. I meant to say Bible basher, but I remember Adelaide said to him, be whoever you want to be. If you love God, just do it. It's I love God and I love kicking snags on your favourite team. Yeah. He's just a gun. So, Jeremy Cameron's 7 is such a big day as well. Your man, Powell Pepper, they've only kicked 5 goals. He kicked 2 of them and had 23 touches. He's back. From his ACL, it's taken a couple of weeks. He's 100% back. I love the role he plays. He's brutal. He's physical. He's a bit of a shining light. But Port are cheeks.
They're so bad, Jev. They're so bad. Can I argue, let's say we take out Geelong versus St Kilda where they got rolled at Marvel, which they always do, and they lost to Brisbane at the Gabba. Their gameplay, they're actually the most consistent team in the AFL. When they rock up, you actually know what you're going to get.
Yeah, it's the same as Collingwood. Like, it's a program. It's a football program.
So they beat Melbourne by 39 points. They beat Adelaide when we were there, which was a great win.
Yep.
They beat the Hawks. They lost to the Blues, but they still played their way. We played one out of our ass, but they still played that tough.
That was the best game you've played all year as well.
Against Collingwood, they still played that tough brand. They lost to the Giants, but they still played that same brand of footy.
That was a banger.
And then on the weekend, I just feel when Geelong play, you know what you're going to get. I don't feel they're going to get jumped by 40 points. As long as they've got everyone. Jack Henry was back in the side, which you forget. He's such a good defender. They've had Jed Buse come back in the side.
Yeah,
they just roll out these guys forever.
As soon as Jez kicked 7 last week on De Conning and the young fella, Connor O'Sullivan, they must have just jabbed Jack Henry up with saying, they're like, nah, we need you back in the side now.
Yeah.
Who got a hold of Zach Butters? Who got him? Was it Tom Atkins?
Yeah, he just was running around contests and just not getting his hands on it.
He's only had his 20 touches.
Yeah, he just Aliir. Oh no! By the way, I'll get into the odds in a minute. So you could have made $1 million on this game, but Jev, if you get a chance, I'll actually get it. If you see the hit that Josh Sins cops in the first 2 minutes, he's open up, cops a knee to the ribs, and then as he lands, he hyperextends his knee and like hammy, and he's on the ground, winded as fuck, and he's done a hammy. He's trying to clutch at his leg.
I have to go and watch that poor bloke.
I'll find it. He's in it, and he just hobbles off, and they're like, Sin. He works so hard to get back in the side, and he's just done.
So Danger did his hammy. What happened to Jason on Francis?
Hammy.
Jack Bowes got sub-injured. What happened to him?
I must have missed that because I was flicking between games, but let's say hammy.
And Lockie Jones, what happened to him?
Let's say hammy. Bad haircut. He had a haircut at 4 o'clock.
A booked haircut. Is Bailey Smith the third best player in the whole AFL? I know for a fact in our DMs, we've got bet slips of Geelong Premiership, Bailey Smith Brownlow, Jez Cameron Coleman. And it's like, what a bet that's looking like to be. Geelong supporters were so confident Bailey Smith could win the Brownlow, and I wasn't buying it because I'm like, he's all right, but it's his first year being a full-time mid. Is he the third or fourth best player in the AFL?
I honestly think at the moment, and with the Brownlow this year, it hasn't been a dead set runaway favourite. Nah. Nick's always going to take the money, and that's what I was saying to you boys the other week. I'm actually going to give it another few weeks and just see what stands out because
we're always going to get value. Yeah,
someone outside the main crop can probably still win it. So he's into $9 at the moment. Well, I got him at $9 yesterday. I bought in on the Bailey Smith stocks. I can 100% see him winning the Brownlow. They don't have massive vote getters, and even if he does, it'll be him and Danger. So he'll be getting 2s and 3s. But I could just see it. Imagine the first 4 games. It's just like, well, you think Danger's going to get 3. It's like, and 3 votes. B Smith. It's like, oh fuck, he's got another 3 there. He's got another 3.
For sure.
I really think he's going to. He's played fucking phenomenal. Like, absolutely phenomenal. And the Cats do it again. They've obviously, every team still has scout reports on every player from years ago.
Yeah.
They obviously still had him as a top 5, top 10 talent on anyone's list. And they're like, off an ACL, we're going to get him for chips. We're going to trade up pick 18. We're like, you know what? You guys are going to take it or leave it because you guys can't do anything about it, or else we're going to pick him up in the rookie draft. And they get him for pick 18. It's been awesome. So awesome. Geelong fleece another side.
Thursday night, this week, Geelong Dogs, GMHBA Stadium, popcorn game. It is going to be fucking awesome. And I know for a fact Libba is going to have something to say to Bailey Smith. And if they get the chance to crunch him, they are going to Josh Sin him. They're going to Jack Silvani him. They're going to get him.
Yeah.
Oh, God. You got some odds for this game, Das?
Jev, this odds game is unbelievable. So we're going to have to start looking at more plays for 20 touches, just unknown. So I think this could be a most money made of the year. So Jez Cameron for 7 was $51. Ollie Dempsey for 2 for 5 weeks in a row, Jev. He's still paying $310.
Yeah.
$310 for 2 goals, which is awesome. Sam Powell-Pepper for 2 was $280. Connor Rozee for 30 touches was $1.90. Bailey Smith for 30 was $2. Mark O'Connor for 25. You could only get him for 20 touches. That was still $8. Ollie Wines for 25, $1.50. Grind Myers for 25 was $3.75. Burton for 25 was $6. Dempsey for 20 was $2.10. Sam Powell Pepper for 20 was $6.50. Burgoyne for 20 was $1.75. Tom Atkins for 20 was $2.35. Sean Manor for 20 was $2.60. Guthrie for 20 was $1.85. Alir for 20 was $9.50. Jackson Mead for 20 was $7.50. And Logan Evans for 20 was $3.20.
Jesus Christ, there was some money to be made there. Wow.
I was going through because usually we get to 20s, there's not much price. I'm like, I'll just go check. And I'm like, Alir was $9.50 for 20. Mead was $7.50 for 20. That is awesome. That is awesome. So,
right.
yeah.
Next game. I'll put my hand up. I'll say I'm impressed. I'm not saying I was wrong. They're not getting an Essendon-like apology I gave the Bombers this week. I'm impressed, but it was finally time that something like this happened. Caleb Sarong bought his own pillow on the plane. They got on a plane like a bunch of big boys that want to be talked about like a top 4 team, and they took a scalp on the road. I'm impressed. They've dog-walked the Giants. Brennan Cox legacy game. He's bubble bath, squeaky cleaned. Jesse Hogan, he is clean as a whistle. I'm impressed. This is a great win. This is the Freo we've wanted all year. Credit to him, Das.
I do not. So, how I said before, how Geelong, you know what you're going to get every week. This is what shits me.
Yes.
This
same with Carlton as well.
Does my knob in. Yeah. It gives me an innie. Like, you just watch them. I watch them get rolled over to St Kilda. This is Fremantle. Then they roll over at home to Collingwood.
Yes.
And then they come out on the road and then they just dismantle the Giants. It's honestly,
dismantle them.
So this is what I said yesterday. It looked like that Collingwood put on Fremantle jerseys and GWS put on North Melbourne jerseys for a game.
Yeah.
Like that's legit what it looked like. It was just like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
Like their intent, endeavour, run through the middle, run and carry, stoppage work, pressure, tackling, switching the ball, just everything that was so stagnant for weeks. And I'm just like, what the fuck are we watching? Like, it does my head in. Like, how are we meant to analyze that when you're watching? Any football fan yesterday was like, GWS given the business, Hogan kicks the snags.
Yes.
Like, how else could you predict anything otherwise?
Yep.
Like, how else could you predict anything otherwise? With the team that they've still got in, actually, no, I'm going to get into a roast right now. So, we said round 1, and it just goes to show the levels of AFL to VFL. Dan Butler a few years ago got dropped from St Kilda, went back to Sandy, and he had 25 and 5.
Yeah.
Like, it just shows the levels. And we said when the Giants were winning, they're like, fuck, Jake Stringer better step up because they've got all these guys in the guns kicking goals in the twos. Well, McMullen's got subbed off injured, so that's bad luck. 5 touches. Harvey Thomas for his 5th week in a row only had 3 disposals. Bedford, 8 disposals. He's on myth watch, I reckon, Bedford. I don't reckon he can tag. So Cody Angove, I think his name was. Cody Angove, he's the one where they couldn't sing the song last week, Jeff, because he's too busy signing. Apparently he didn't step onto the ground yesterday. He was still out just signing. He was signing baby shirts, getting photos. Like, get on the fucking ground and have an impact. He didn't get near it. Joe Fonte's a bit of a myth, I reckon, Jeff. He's not getting near it. And they've got another guy. What's his name? I don't even know his name. He must have got dropped. But there was another one, Jeff. They are so pedestrian, the Giants, at the moment.
Yeah.
So pedestrian. And, we have to give him credit that Brendan Cox, every time a ball went down and went out of bounds, every Freo player went to him. But they were nice. They didn't rub him on the head because there's not much left there. So they knew there was a bit of a breeze. So they just give him a pat on the back. They were nice to – but that's a big scalp. That is a big scalp.
This is, I'm never going to quit on the Giants, but this is the one thing I worry about. Midfielders can get a hold of them. Like, other midfields can get them, and I think they are, because they are in the premiership window, they're a little arrogant to how good Finn and Tom Green are going, but sometimes guys walk in that are a bit better and get them. Like, if you stop Sarong and Brayshaw, you stop Freo. Basically, you cannot let Sarong have 36 and 17 kicks and Brayshaw have 30 and just let them run around. Like, they're too good. I know I'm harsh on them, but they're very good footballers, and they've just dog walked you at home. Shy Bolton, he's starting to get going, isn't he? Last week was his best game for the club. Now this week he's had 24 touches, 3 goals, 3. That's a big game, Das.
Yeah.
So first quarter, 9 touches, 1 goal, 1. Red lights are flashing at quarter time. Second quarter, 6 touches, 1 goal, 1. Right, so he's walked off with 15 touches, 2 goals, 2 at half time. Toby Bedford, red lights are flashing. Like, what are you doing? You on Sarong? You on Brayshaw? You on Bolton? He only had 4 touches in the third, 5 touches and a goal in the last. So, yeah.
Is that why they call him Snooze Bedford? Because he just goes to sleep out there?
The alarm's gone. I did see a clip this couple of weeks ago. They were tagging Heaney, and then halfway through the quarter, they started tagging Warner. I don't think you can do that. You got to commit to the one player.
100%.
It's a 4-quarter tag. It's not a 10-minute tag. I think they've got to sort that out. And if you decide to be on Sarong at the start, you go Sarong for the whole 4 quarters. And if Shy and Brayshaw beat you, they beat you. But if you just, it's got to be a 4-quarter tag because you've got to wear him out by the end of the game, basically.
GWS are lucky as well that they tactically subbed off Isaiah Dudley at halftime. He had 8 touches, 2 points, but he was going to run havoc in the second half.
He's going to start.
They're lucky that they subbed him off. But this is what it shows when Neil Erasmus gets to play around the contest, Jev. 19 touches. He looked good.
Yeah.
He looked good. And also Cooper Simpson, was he Sandy Dragons boy? Sandy Dragons. I think he did his ACL before his draft year. So this is his 4th game. He kicked his first goal. He's meant to be an elite runner.
That's right.
Yeah, you probably haven't heard about him because he's just been struggling with injuries to get in the side. So I think it's his 2nd or 3rd game in a row. Kicked a goal in the last quarter yesterday. Went nuts.
Mount Martha Junior Football Club. He's from Mount Martha, so he's a local boy near us.
Yeah, so make sure Cooper Simpson, watch out for him when you go watch Freo play. He's an elite runner. He's got a massive kick on him. So I was really happy to see him actually.
So I saw a miss kick 2, had 8 touches. Is he still on myth watch or is he pretty good?
I just don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I want to lump him up in the Harry Mackay. Who are those forwards that just look like you just want to just slap in the face and just say,
get some competitive.
Wake it up and just put a knee into someone.
Yeah.
Or just
if he had, nice, brother. Max King can be like that sometimes.
If Jai miss, I want him to take the energy of Pat Voss.
Yes.
That's what I want. If they do the fusion and they go together and Pat Voss will kick a point and run around like he's just won the grand final. So, yeah.
You got some odds?
Yeah, I do. Because this game was actually cheeks as well. Bolton for 3 was $6.50. Fast Freddy for 3 was $9. Callum Brown for 2 was $3.50. Darcy Jones for 2 was $3.50. Jai Miss for 2 was $2.10. Pat Voss for 1 was $1.35. Tom Green kicked 1 in the last, which was $2.50. Murphy Reed for a snag was $1.80. Cooper Simpson for his first snag in league footy was $4.
Nice.
And then Caleb Sarong for 35 was $8. Brayshaw for 30 was $1.95.
$8 for Sarong.
$1.95. Yeah.
Wow.
$1.95. Whitfield for 25 was $1.25. Bolton for 20 was $1.90, and Luke Jackson for 20 was $1.75.
Nice.
So yeah, so some pretty good odds in that one.
I've got some extremely good sourcing. You wouldn't believe how good a sourcing I've got.
This is good.
If Luke Jackson doesn't want to go anywhere, but he just wants to be the number 1 ruckman. So I can't reveal my source, but it is close. It is really good. And if he just wants to be the number 1 ruckman with no other ruckman on the field, maybe just like a Pat Voss or a miss chopping him out, but he'd rather be no Sean Darcy, just him, and he's not going anywhere. He doesn't want to go back to Melbourne. He just wants to be the number 1 ruckman. And if Sean and if he does go to Melbourne, it's because they've decided to basically keep Sean Darcy.
I like it. No,
I got some seriously good sourcing on that.
Yeah, I think I saw that. I think I saw that mail somewhere. And
I've got some. Yeah, it's good sourcing. And if he's listening, I appreciate the sourcing.
It's he's closer than his pillow. That's how
it's good sourcing. Yeah, he just wants to be the number 1 ruckman. And when he does, that's when he plays and he has these 20 touch, 32 hit out games. He usually kicks a snag as well as kick 1 point. So yeah.
One quick one. I know that we don't want to touch on this for much longer, but the Giants, we always say their forward lines, they've got heaps of mouths. So you got Riccardi, you can put Stringer back there, you can play the smalls, you play Hogan. Do we get Cadman up on the wing? So he was a winger his whole life until the last year, and then he played forward. He had another 5 touches yesterday. He's an awesome runner. Can we get him up and down the ground a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, just get him involved. He's a first pick talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get the talent around the ball.
I like it. I actually really do.
Like, mix it up.
I know you got to forget he's a pick 1 talent, but it looks like his role in the side is to let Jesse Hogan dominate. So he sort of starts close, then try and gives him room. He's always around. Yeah, you're right. And it's like
keep Finn's magnet on the ball, and then you put Cadman on the wing.
And I know Toby Green's banged up a bit, and he did his ankle, and he was speaking on Tommy's pod, Toby Green Tuesday, how he was sort of touch and go to play. Can we get a couple of weeks of Toby out of the cage? The way Heaney and stuff play out of the cage, I want to see Tobes out of the cage, just kicking, doing one-on-ones for a couple of weeks. Just get it in there. He could start kicking a few bags, get his ankle right, then he'll get back up around the ball. Final game of Saturday. It is Sunday morning. We're going to come back on and film the rest. Ass kicking, dog shit, inconsistent, do my head in. I do an apology to the Bombers. I'm like, I like them. Weak as fucking water, Das.
Weak
as piss. This is why they're never fucking winning a final, and we can't trust them, and it's going to be another wasted year. They carried on like they won the flag last week, and I said in the preseason, you'll know the year the Bombers are going to win the flag, the year they beat the Swans and the Cats in the same year, because both of them own them. Then they go and lose by 91 points on prime time, Saturday night, under the lid, asking, and I'm going to give the Dogs a lot of love in a minute, but Jesus Christ, this is bad.
Let's make sure we describe the water, because weak as water, Jeff, there's lots of type of waters. They're not boiling water because that's hot. That's good.
Hot.
They're not frozen water because that's tough.
They're not a tsunami or a heavy wave at the beach.
They are simmered down hot dog water. That's what they are. Just lukewarm hot dog water.
And hot dogs are just lips and asshole, and it's just
lips and asshole.
Lips and asshole water.
100%. That is exactly what they are. So don't get beaten by what you know. When you've got Bailey Dale, and he's not just a stat patter where he gets a couple of dinky handballs, when you've got someone that's had, 25 at halftime, he had over 1,000 metres game. So Bailey Dale 1K. We've had Johnny 1K and Dale 1K this week. So he had 1,016 metres gained. Can we put someone on him? Is there going to be one senior body that says, I'm actually going to run with him? I'm not going to allow him to break the lines. I'm not going to allow him to run straight through the middle and hit up our targets for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Was there one person? Not one person. Tim English ran the Undertaker back into his grave. Goldstein was absolutely, if he wasn't already looked like he was microwaved, he looked microwave after the game. He was toast. Tim English looked at him. He's like, this bloke should have been retired 5 years ago. I'm going to run him into the ringer. Goldstein was cooked. He was looking at, where's Draper? Where's Zach Bryant? Not to be seen. He had no one pinching him out in the ruck for the entire game. Riley Rest did whatever he wanted. Bonds and Pally showed in the first 10 minutes of the game, I think, why he's on the top of the pyramid. I know it's your pyramid.
He's number one. Yeah, he's going to number one.
The first 10 minutes. And Ruby Slisher, which something exciting coming up, hopefully we're trying to get her on. We're trying to get Ruby on. She's a fucking legend. But
she's a superstar.
She did a breakdown at quarter time, and it was perfect. Like, I know Goldstein tapped it down, but everyone emptied out. Fraser pushed out, West pushed out, Libber took another man out, and then he had Setterfield on his, literally on his hip, and he got it. He got boot to ball and celebrated before Setterfield could even look up and see the ball go through. Yeah. That's how good he is.
So good. And fucking Todd Goldstein tapped it to him, and you just saw the Undertaker just, just like, oh, brother, the Dogs just laid a trap for old Goldie to take the cheese. They're just like, beautiful, how easy is this? Just a fishing rod now.
Tim English is like, I'm going to pretend to go up for this one because he's been giving him the business. He's like, you know what? This is my chance to get a tap straight down Bond's throat. So
49 touches is unbelievable. John Noble's 1,000-metre gained record lasted 10 minutes. It lasted 24 hours or 48 hours.
For the year.
Bailey Dale had 49 touches, 1,000 and what was it? 1,016 metres gained.
Yeah.
Was that more than Noble? What did he have? 1004?
Yeah, 1,001, but it's not the actual record. It's the record this year.
Oh, this year. What a game.
Yeah.
37 kicks. I don't even get 37 at training, Darcy. I'm in the drills.
Nah.
He must be laughing. Like, he must have a sore foot. What were the Bombers doing? Matt Kennedy again kicked the snag. 1 goal, 31 to. There's some bets that are just starting to show themselves as the best bets in football.
Dempsey 2.
Ollie Dempsey 2. Matt Kennedy 1.
Yeah.
Sam Powell Pepper 2 is going to start going in there, or Sam Powell Pepper 1 is going to start going in there. There was one you said before that I can't remember, but it's a banger of a bet. Oh, God, what were they doing?
And I say as well, there was 2 minutes to go. So the record was 47 at the Dogs, or 48. Yep. He got there. Bailey Williams had it on the 50 with a minute to go and didn't look in board, and then kicked it forward. I think he kicked it to Norton or whoever, and then looked to the side, and Bailey Dale's just giving him an earful. He's just like this. I'm so sorry. Could have got the 20 metres in board.
I'm on 50. I'm on 49.
He's on 49, and not one Essendon player checked him on the way through. It was so weak. And I want to give a shout out to Nida, our man Nida. He loves the Bombers, and we love Nida. And everything that we say about the Bombers isn't against Nida. It's just against the Bombers. And this is why. And this is so, Sam Durham, I know, you get a lick of the ice cream, you get a goal, 24. How about some pressure in the middle? Zach Merritt is almost out of the pyramid. I know it's your pyramid. He's sliding out. Is he playing at a top 21 level at the moment? He had 19 last week. What do you have? I think 19 again this week. But they're just no one did a thing. No one did a thing. Laverto, no one could stop him. And I don't know if it was we actually have to give more credit to the Dogs, I feel, because their mids cooked. Ed Richards, he had a goal. Bond had a goal. Libba had a goal. Who else? Riley West
4. Karmas 3. Richards 2 goals 2. Bond 2. Matt Kennedy 1. Libba 1. 33. All of them got a touch.
That's on us for backing Caddy for snags as well.
We knew this game was going to be a bloodbath. I'm so annoyed with myself. The Dogs under the lid are must bet on. Must bet on. Libba 33-1. Kennedy 31-1. Bailey-Dale 49. Richards 27-2. Yeah, Bont 24-2. Sanders 24. Fraser 21. God, they dog walked them.
I've got a question for you. What would you rather see? Danger win a record-breaking 9th All-Australian or Libba win his first?
Libba first. Bont Brownlow as well. I want Bont to win the Brownlow so bad. When is Luke Beveridge getting a 3-year contract put in front of him?
His interview after the game was so funny. He just kept dancing around questions and shit.
He just I don't know if I'm here next year, so I don't really need to answer that.
He knows that they've only got 10 minutes to interview him. And he just kept talking, waffling on it. And David King's like, can you just give us an answer? We've got a lot to get through. Stop dancing around questions. He's like, hopefully the soft cap hasn't gone up. So hopefully I can still get enough to put the breakfast on the table for the family. He knows he's coaching well. And Sam Darcy should come back the back end of the year.
Yeah. Is that a pencil in your hand, Darcy?
Yeah.
Can you please pencil in, are the Dogs playing in a prelim? I think it's in pencil. I know you heard me on the show this week. They're going to find different. So they've got Bontempelli. Any team with Bontempelli, I believe in. Richards is in career best. Treloar's slowly coming back. They're going to start finding different avenues to goals, different ways to kick goals, this and that. Then they're going to drop Sam Darcy in, parachute him in with 4 weeks to go, and he can play. He can start as the sub, or he can get subbed off, and he can chop out in the ruck and everything. I think I can see him prelim final weekend easily.
And Tim English is actually playing all Australian.
Yes, back to as well. I can see him. Or I can see. I reckon you can pencil the Pies and the Dogs into prelim final weekend, and nearly the Cats as well.
Cats and I've still got, and this is the thing. We haven't spoken about Brisbane. They keep getting buried on Sunday. This is their third week, so we don't actually get to see them.
We don't roast them, and we don't see them and speak about them on the roast enough. But I just think those 3 teams are better than other teams. And I know we react so much week to week, but the Dogs are so good. They're so good. And any team with Bontempelli is a team I believe in.
There is about 6 6 sides at the moment that you just like. So say put the Suns, you put Brisbane in there. Finals are going to be awesome this year.
They're all better than
all matchups
Hawthorn
I
as
wanna
well.
see.
Anyway,
Yeah.
did you do odds? Yeah, give us odds.
Yeah, I've got odds for this one. Riley West for 4 was $9. Buku
No.
Karmas for 4 was 21. Ed Richards for 2 was $5.25. Bond for 2 was $1.90. Nick Martin kicked 1. Ray Romano was $1.70. Sam Davidson for 1 was $2.45. Kennedy for 1, he's finally gone in, Jev, at $1.45. Libber for 1 is at $2.55. Now, Bailey Dale, 49. For $40, he was $34. Can I just quickly interrupt myself? Of course I can. Remember at the start of the year, PointsBet put out a bet for any player to get
50.
I think it was $10.
Yeah.
Did we end up putting money on that on the account?
I don't think we did.
Because I was sweating it last night. So can you check that for me?
Yeah.
Libber we've got a million bets in our bet slip. Libber for 30 was $1.85. Kennedy for 30, Jeb, was $5.50. Archie Roberts for 25 was $2.50. Ed Richards for 25 was $1.65. Harms for 25 was $8. Redmond for 25 was $2.60. Tim English for 25 was $6. Setterfield for 25 was $2.90. McGrath for 25 was $2.90. Nick Martin for 25 was $1.60. And Jason Johannesson for $20 was $20. So there was $1 million to be spent. Now, before I forget, I wanted to say this last year. Was last year? Yeah, last year. I want a celebration for the smalls. And this was what the celebration was going to be. But now that we've finally got it, I want this for all the smalls, for you to solidify yourself as a small. You don't have to do it to the player, but the Riley West. If you kick a snag,
too little.
Give him the little boy. That is the celebration. If you're
too little to guard me.
If you're local footy, send it in. If you're a certified small, if you kick a snag, I want you to put the arm down and just give the small celebration. It's the ultimate small celebration. Kicked his fourth, fended, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Archie Roberts. Fended him into next week and just kicked his fourth and just little boyed him. That was awesome.
That was awesome. About Riley West. He would have spent his whole junior career being a dominant midfielder, a dominant midfielder. And you remember he started playing forward pocket and he was a bit cranky about it when he was sort of in and out of the team. Scott West was making small comments here and there. And he's in and out. You can just tell he's gone, righto, they want me as a small forward, and he's just gone to work on his craft as a small forward of how he can have impact on games. Basically everything you want Jesse Motlop to be, Riley West does, and now he sort of plays as that Toby Green. He's a mix of Toby Green and Nick Watson, where he knows it's not getting kicked to him, but he knows when to lead in behind Norton, and if it gets to the ground, he's dangerous there. He's tough one-on-one. He's hard to tackle. He's always around the ball. He gets himself to contest. He's just gone to work on being an inside 50 player, sort of like a 3-and-D guy in the NBA. All they work on is shooting threes and playing defense. You can just tell he's just gone to work on inside 50. I'm going to be the best player I can be. So you got to give love to guys that just are nailing a role. He's just nailing his role.
Do you reckon he's got the worst temper of all time? There was a few scuffles at the start and he had to turn his back. He's taking deep breaths. I'm like, he must have a fuse. He must just he had to walk away 3 times, and then that's after he kicked that goal, and then that's where he did the little boy. I'm like, fuck, he must hold grudge. He must just see red.
To be fair,
that was his way of getting it out.
He's probably midfield fit. He's probably as fit as Libber, Bont. He's probably as fit as all these guys. Trained with them, and then he's full of energy. He's fit, and he spends so much time waiting for the ball to get to him. And if it doesn't get there, he's angry. Yeah. All right, that is the first part of the roast. We are going to go watch Richmond North now, which looks like a banger. I'm just looking at the scores now. We've missed a quarter, so let's go watch the next 3 quarters. Yeah, we'll see you for the second half of the Savo.
Let's go.
Let's go. We are back for part 2 of the Sunday roast after a super Sunday in footy. Let's go to the MCG early today. That game was fun as fuck, Das.
That was awesome. I think this year's all about matchups. So if you get 2 bang on average sides, you're going to get a good game. If you get 2 awesome teams, you're going to get a good game. I would rather that than a really good side and a pretty average side. You want matchups. Matchups make a good game, and it's awesome. Zerha comes out looking like if you come down from the spaceship and you'd never seen a game before and you told us that they were the best 2 teams in the land, you'd have been like, Zerha's the best player in the comp. Like how good's he to watch? Like he's fending off guys left, right, and center, like kicking snags out of his ass. Like you would think this guy's awesome. You would have thought Sam Layla looks about 35 and he's like in his 13th year.
He's played 200 games.
And you would have thought Harry Sheasel's just a scrub. Like that's how you would have viewed the game. But it was awesome, Jev. I thought the whole game, I was like, the Tigers are just going to win this. They're just going to be better at the G. They're just going to do it. Seth Campbell, he has to be, Jev, in the discussion. I'll reveal it at the end. But I do have my top 3 in the Smalls pyramid. And I can tell you, if I had another row, because the Smalls pyramid's only 3 players, he would be on the
6.
You reckon make it 6 players?
Yeah, make it 6.
I'll make it 6. He's on the bottom row. He kicks 2 goals or 3 goals every week. He's tough. He's got a lot of cunt in him. Like he loves to rip into players, loves to celebrate. He would have loved to be in that 2017, 18, 19, 20 side. He would have loved it.
Licked his lips on who's the bloke that wears the fucking helmet? No, doesn't defend.
Caleb Daniel.
He was on Caleb Daniel and he was licking his lips today. He's like, how good's this?
He just went nuts on him.
So North hold on by 4 points. LDU was really good. How good was that collision between him and Layla in the middle? Yeah. And Layla came off second best and he went down. He was sore. Jerry and Nate Curvis were both awesome. It was just a good game of footy. Zerha kept fending blokes off in the mush. Lynch looked old, but was still kicking goals. Camden McIntosh, everyone in the crowd is wearing a headband for Camden McIntosh.
Mad.
What was his 200th? Say what you said to your message after the game. When he was getting chaired off and they were all just pissing themselves laughing.
So this is where the Tigers are as a footy club. Like they've just lost in a close game. Any other club, like you'd be filthy. Camden's getting carried off. All the young players are just pissing themselves. Vlosten and like Lynch are like walking around like, we don't give a fuck. Like they actually don't care. Like they're just all these guys that get paid to play footy. They know that they're not going to win the flag this year, next year, or the year after. And they just don't give a fuck. Like they literally, it was a close loss and they're all just like unraveling their tape, like just fucking pissing themselves at each other. Like, look at Camden. What an idiot.
Yeah, they'd call him Unk for sure. He's Unk. Yeah. He's old school Unk. And he's probably booked him karaoke or something for later.
Yeah, but
it's so funny. Just all I thought about in this game was Richmond have North Melbourne's first round pick. So now Richmond have probably gone from having picks 2 and 3 to having picks 3 and 2 because that loss or win did not matter.
Yeah.
They are just that's not changing anything.
Yeah. Karaoke was booked for 6 so Noah Bolter can rock up because Noah's got the curfew.
And then when that alarm goes off.
Quick one early. I want to know the record. They've got random AFL stats. I want to message them. The most amount of time someone's been caught holding the ball in their first season because Finn O'Sullivan has to be leading the count, Jev.
And it's always in the middle of the ground. Like, it stands out like dog's nuts.
He was just used to Xavier College. You can just shake a few in the big time. And I'm sure he's going to be a gun. We like him. Yeah. This is what the roast is about. He got absolutely cuddled about 45 times with the pill.
It was just an entertaining game to watch. Like, as you said, when it's 2 crap sides, they're just going at each other thinking they're as good as each other. It was just good to watch. Toby Pink had the biggest moment of his career. Yeah. Took that big clunk at the end. Just everything about it. Both teams played well. Both teams did some poor things. Zerha kept fending blokes in the mush. Like, it was just good stuff.
George Wardlaw, when he attacks the ball, it is
a pleasure.
It's a danger pace. That's how quick that he goes. So I want to say 2 things. How old did Tom Lynch look today?
Oh, when he went to take that hanger at the end, he jumped like Nikola Jokic. You got about that high, 2 inches up. He looked a bit old, but he's still a gun.
And also, this was the time, Jev. So I messaged you straight away. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yes.
Zane Dersma comes on. It's like, what is Zane Dersma? He's going to get a chance. He got a quarter and a half. What is he? And he had a chance to go back and ice the game with about 3 minutes to go. And he's decided to just kick it to the top of the square. And I'm like, no, Nane Curvis marked it. I'm like, they're going to go end to end. And he's just going to be known as someone that just didn't want the moment. And they're lucky that they held on because he could have gone back. It was a good set shot. You're not chewing time off the clock because you kicked it to the top of the square. It was a dead set turnover. Could have gone end to end. Could have gone, and we just would have been like, what is Zane Dersma? Jev, I agree with you. I don't know what he is.
I put this was in the preseason preview. I asked this question. I still want to know, what is the ceiling of Zane Dersma? Like, when you drafted him, what is the high end? Like, as I said, is it Fife? Is it Heaney? Is it like a half forward that floats on ball? Is it a halfback? Is it not a Blakey, I just watched Ryan Marrick just then. Like, bit better than Ryan Marrick, but something that gets 27 touches off the halfback line. He's tall, so he can take a nice mark. Is it Jack Silvani, who's like a tall sort of forward pocket? Ben Long. Is it Ben Long? I'm just trying to think what the ceiling of Zane Dersma is. And yes, you messaged me. Timestamp it. He's about to get subbed on in a close game with a whole quarter of footy.
Here we go.
Can he have his moment? Show us what he is. He walked off with one possession and a direct turnover. He had one touch in that quarter.
Yep.
I don't know what he is. I don't know what he's going to be. I've got don't draft Dersmas on my board. I would never draft a Dersma ever. But does he need to go back to the twos? I just don't see anything. He's not good at anything. So I'm sorry, North Sports. I just don't see it. That's our only roast we're doing for this game. Do you have anything else?
Luke McDonald had 8 touches.
Looking back.
He got lost on the G. I reckon he was a bit big for him.
Don't bag Lukey. They won. Are you going to bag any Richmond players?
Who can I have a go at? Ryan Mansell's all right. Can we give a shout out to Tim? He's an absolute cobbler. I'm shattered he missed that goal to
so true.
Really put him in front. If you're a Tigers fan, you got to love him. He's penciled in for 7 years. And yes, I know he took a big pay packet, and that's part of you coming over. He thought Dimmer was going to be there. He's not. But, he looks like he's really sunk into that role, hasn't he? He's like, you know what? I'm here. I'm not going to get angry where the Giants are. This is my lot. I made the decision. I'm home. I've got the cash now. So good on him.
So I'll give you some odds. So Cam Zerha for 4 was 575.
Yeah.
Seth Campbell for 3 was 390. Darling for 2, 255. Sammy Laylor 2 was 310. Camden McIntosh for 2 was $16. Hugo Ralph Smith for 1 was $3.40.
Yep.
Tim Taranto for 30 was $2.60. Sam Banks for 25 was $3.30. Nice. LDU for 25 was $1.47. $1.47 is great. And then Hopper for 25 was $1.57. Like, they're good multi. If you had LDU into Hopper, you would have got like $2.80 for that.
Hopper's that every week.
McKercher for 20 was $2.15. That was a multi-staple last year.
Yeah, 100%.
And then Kane McAuliffe. What do you know about Kane McAuliffe to us?
I know he's a left footer.
For 20 touches, he was $9.
Nice.
Not bad.
That's a really territory.
Yeah, not bad. So that's that game. It was enjoyable. I had fun watching it. And then I turned on this game and just Brisbane were just doing their thing. They were just up by 24 points. I'm like, Melbourne are playing well. The final margin is probably going to be 24 points. It might go out to 30. It might come back to 12, but you just know it's going to be about 20 to 24 points final margin. The D's came back, hit the front, held the front, and just beat them. They were just better than them. They just got them, basically. I just couldn't believe it that they held on, got him. It was Melksham. They had a good game plan. It was old school Petrarca. We saw the best of Clary again. We saw how unstoppable Cozzy can be. This is like what you think of Melbourne's best is what we just saw. They beat the Lions by 11 points on the Gabba. That's not easy to do, Das.
No, and that's what we were saying earlier. It's so hard to judge these sides on where are they because they've still got these stars that can still play well.
Yes.
So it's like, where do we actually judge them? Like, yes, I know they started the season slow, but they almost beat the Giants, and we think the Giants are the best team. And now we look at the Giants, like, the Giants actually even that good?
Yeah.
And then Melbourne go on a bit of a run. It's like, fuck, are Melbourne actually good? Like, it's so hard to see. But Jakey Melksham, what a journeyman. He's been ready to go at all times. Like, off an injury, he comes in sub, he just impacts. He had an awesome game. I was ready to say to you right now, or at about halftime, Jev, that I've seen enough. I want you to give me like your top 4 or 5 best midfielders. I know you've got your list, so you can probably reel them off. But Bont, Dacos.
I'd still have Heaney in there at the moment. You put on. I like Butters and right now Bailey Smith probably.
So
and Dawson's just a bit stiff. Yeah.
Just because we don't see enough of him. Watching him play, obviously Neil's always going to be in there, but Will Ashcroft is there forever now. I know that. Yeah. I know they didn't run off the gate. What he does in his forward craft, and if anyone goes to watch his wash videos, I know that we take the piss out of him a little bit, but his midfield craft is fucking phenomenal. His little hands that he gets from inside to out, his running ability, his kicking inside, he is an absolute machine. Like I would put him, like whatever the top tier of midfielders are, he's there now. Like he's 100% there. And I know that he didn't run out the game as well as he probably wanted to, but that was a team collapse. Also, they love to move the ball on those slow plays and they just pick you apart through the ground. What they do the last 3 or 4 entries out from D50, they just kicked it to Max Gawn.
Yeah.
And
it's fucked.
They just got maxed. That's what every team was doing like 4 or 5 years ago. When they'd kick long down the line, it'd be Lever and May. When they kick out from their D50, they'd kick it and then Max is there. It's just, and he pumped it back in there 3 or 4 times. He is and always will be, and you can't change my mind. He's the best ruckman that we've ever seen.
Yeah,
Fox is awesome. Max Gawn, what he does on a game, he's the best we've ever seen. He's fast.
He's so good. He's so good.
He's so good.
I would love him at this one. You just must be so proud of it. When you see someone that you sort of say is like the best player of all time, like watching Buddy Franklin when he was a Swan in his prime, I was just so proud he was a Swan. Every week in, week out, I just wanted to turn the TV on and watch him.
Watch the show.
It's like Dacos right now. It's Bontempelli right now. You know, they're like the best players your club might ever have play for them. And just watching Max Gawn right now, you must be so proud as a Melbourne supporter. Like, this guy is him. Like, he's a fucking champion.
Yeah. He's legit. Like, every single thing he does, he's so tough, goes back and takes the marks, but they just clawed their way back into it. They just ran them off their legs.
Yeah.
I didn't think that they were going to be able to hold up. Ed Langdon just runs all day. Caitlin Chandler would just pop up and kick a couple. Like, it was impressive.
I thought Nicky Del Sano really nailed the call. He kept saying the whole game, Melbourne are playing really well. It's just not showing up on the scoreboard yet. And he's like, they're hanging around. They're playing well. The numbers are saying they're playing well. He just kept saying it. And then they got him. Like, it just finally added up and turned into goals in a row and consecutive goals. Yeah. Das, what about Cozzy Pickett? So he's walked off with 2 goals for 22 touches, but he just like puts his stamp on games. Yeah. Like he's a freak, man.
Yeah. No, he's a gun. And like he should have iced it at the end and then he should have had that other shot that he went to kick off at Petrarca.
Yeah.
Because I was actually going to ask you the question, but then it almost looks like at the end, if you're drafting a team, because I know it's actually, no, who's a better footballer? I'm going to use your yardstick on you. So it's different if I ask who are you drafting, because in your team, I don't know whether you'd probably want Cozzy, you'd rather want the small forward, but who's a better footballer? Is it Cozzy or is it Will Ashcroft?
A better footballer.
Who's a better footballer?
Probably. I'm just, in my head, it's just telling me Cozzy. I'm legit just telling myself Cozzy. I just think like,
he's got the finish.
The impact on I think it's like it's got a Cyril Rioli level to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's 22 impact touches, it's 2 goals for, it's 5 shots on goal. And I'm not saying Will Ashcroft is a stat padding midfielder, but like Cozzy's 22 are probably better than Will Ashcroft's 30 sort of thing.
When I was going to ask, so it was about half time and I was thinking about it because Cozzy was playing a lot of midfield time. And when they were in the midfield, it was like 15 minutes and Will Ashcroft was just beating him at absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Just beating every contest, kicking, going to the next contest. I'm like, where the fuck's Cozzy? Like, he's nowhere near him. And then as the game turned, it got to the end. And then he ended up getting those shots on goal. And then I was like, it's perfect.
When it comes to midfield craft, Ashcroft probably teaches him a lesson. But you're right.
And also, I'm going to double back on that other question that I went to ask you earlier, except I'm going to put, what would you rather see? Bont win a Brownlow or Libba win his first All-Australian?
Bont Brownlow. He has to finish his career with a Brownlow. To be in like all-time, everyone like Libba's one of those guys like the streets remember Tom Libba, but Bont's like we're going to remember this guy forever. Like nearly rush all the players I've seen. Like he needs a Brownlow.
Also, can we quickly discuss that they buried an awesome commentary team on that Sunday game? They had Lynchy, Matt Hill, Del Santo, and Jared Healy.
Yeah, it's a good team. They were good.
I was listening. I was like, they've got some good people. And then it popped up the bottom. I'm like, that is an awesome Sunday Arvo team. So we've had some shockers. We had Dixon, Kelly Underwood, Derm, and who's that other guy? Erasmus.
Corbin. What's his name?
Corbin Batlin or something. Whatever.
Yeah, Corbin Aurora Borealis or something.
I couldn't believe. I was like, who am I listening to?
When Derm and Kelly Underwood get a game together, oh God, it's just like
Forks in the ears.
It's just one of those ones. Anyway, let me give you some odds on this game. Some of the odds on this game, I could not believe when I was writing them down.
Crazy.
So Melksham for 4, so you can only get him for 3. He was $15 for 3. Same with Darcy Gardner. He kicked 4. He was $13 for 3.
Nice.
Logan Morris was $3.40 for 3. And Cozzy Pickett was $2.40 for 2. I put that in the 100K. I couldn't believe we were getting $2.40. So listen to this. This is all guys to kick one, just one goal.
Yeah.
And then when I was going through, I'm just writing these blokes down. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So Chandler, $1.90. Trent Rivers, $4.75. Clary, $4.20.
Fuck.
Connor McKenna was $1.59. Ed Langdon was $2.75. Hugh McCluggage was $2.50. Jasper Fletcher was $5. Tom Sparrow was $3.30. And Tom McDonald you couldn't even get. But if you just had those eight guys for one goal in a multi, you just picked, like if you got a blind kid to just pick 8 and they pick them, it was 7,000 to 1 basically for those guys to kick one goal stacked up.
I'm sick of this.
Yeah, it's fucked, isn't it?
After watching that and the Port Geelong game with all those odds, we need to just put our football nous to the side, Jev. And on a few of these games, we're going to pick a halfback like a Jasper Fletcher, a Dan Houston, a Sinclair, someone for a snag, and just a couple of midfielders. Let's get a few $10 multis rocking. Like, that's bullshit.
I actually think this is even more shocking. So for 30, Petrarca was $4.30. For 30, Lockie Neal was $2.90. And for 30, Will Ashcroft was $3.50.
I would have easily had those 3 in a multi.
Exactly. If you liked them all for 25, you're like, I'm just going to take Petrarca, Neal, and Ashcroft for 25. I'm going to have a $30 bet on them. You have $25 on all for 25, and you save 5 on them to have 30. That paid 45 to 1 for those 3 to have 30.
That's Monday,
How
Tuesday,
do we miss
Wednesday.
out on this stuff?
That's 3 days off work, Jev.
Yeah.
That's 3 days off
sake.
work. That's awesome.
Fuck.
No one else I really want to roast in this one. I just think, like, the Lions played a really good game until they didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
Charlie Cameron.
Oh.
He's on the blacklist of multis. He's on, and Kai fucking Loman looks like a little turd out there. He gets subbed off with a sore toe, a buggered finger. He's got an earache or something. Every week he gets subbed off. It's ever since he got crunched in the Swans round 1. He comes on, he gets a knee to the back. He gets treated like Jack Silvani for 10 hours, and then he's fucking subbed off again. Do you remember?
Ty Toadman.
Last year, you said who's better next year, Tom Papley or Kai Loman? I said Kai Loman. He looks like he's going to be a superstar small forward. He hasn't finished a game since. No, he's always subbed off with a runny nose or something. I'm so sick of it. And then Charlie Cameron is a star. No, he's on blacklist. He missed some easy ones today. It's just like once it falls off quick sometimes with small forwards. So
fumbling, balls going out of bounds. Like, he should have kicked 4.
Like running into open goals, having a snap. Like he used to bury them, and he's missing them.
Doing my head.
Yeah, and like him he's the last leg of my multi was him for 2, and he didn't kick one. I'm like, what the fuck?
Nah, so that was disappointing. But Melbourne.
Anyway, final game. Is there anything more St Kilda? Watching St Kilda and Essendon do this on the same weekend feels like Jesus has come back to earth. Like, is there anything more St Kilda than the Saints going to WA and getting their pants pulled down and their little asses slapped for 4 quarters by the Eagles? They got pumped. Oh my God, that was so bad. And they're going to whinge and moan. I don't know what they're going to whinge and moan about, but this is why, like, the AFL world laughs at them because they're crap. They're so crap.
You know the local torture? You know they put their head in and then their hands are in and they just throw apples at their face? That's like what they did, and just paddling on their ass.
Yes,
and just whip to the calves. The whole team, I can tell you right now, let's start off with a positive. Jack Higgins is on top of the Smalls pyramid.
Oh, is he your number 1?
He's number 1.
Wow.
I think he's equal to Coleman. He's kicked another 5. I can't tell you how many bags of 5 he's kicked. I think he's kicked 7 bags of 5 in the AFL.
Yeah, it's so fucking
7 bags of 5 in the AFL. He's an absolute freak. Like what he does, the 12 touches, He doesn't need much space, but he can just have maximum impact. But even that last bit, Jeb, how he got the front and center and then gave the handball off straight away where he could have gone for his 6th goal. Like he's just a freak. I messaged Bally. So our friend Bally, you probably know, big St Kilda supporter. He messages me 5 minutes into the game, 5 minutes. And he says, so his mum, Jules, mad Saints. Jules has seen enough 5 minutes in. She says, West Coast are on. We are so going to get done. You're bloody right, Jules. Absolutely bloody right. So I got Bally Jev. I asked, I said, can you just give me a 3 dot points? Just 3 dot points just for the game for the Rose.
This is the Saints would have gone through it.
Brad Hill is the weakest bleep in the AFL and shits himself over his own footsteps. Jack Steele is washed, and I'm not paying for my membership next year.
It was a microwave membership game, was it, for the Saints?
And then also, he sent me a photo. He's not well. I'm not sure if the camera can see. It's him in a West Coast jersey, so he's not well, the skunk.
Oh, he doesn't. He just doesn't he? Like when they play Sunday Arvos, he gets a couple of beers at home in his fridge. He buys them Friday Arvo home from work, gets them in the fridge, gets them cool and crisp. He's like, oh, I'm gonna have a couple of beers, watch the Saints. Like this is my weekend. And if they're playing like that, it turns into like 15 beers in 4 quarters of footy. And then he's just sitting there looking at his phone, crying like, I hate him. He's on all the Facebook pages with his mum, just cracking the shit. Oh, it's just so St Kilda to lose that game.
He would have had 10 VBs and you sit there and you just curve.
He's like, it's shaking. You're on your phone shaking.
I've never seen a man that has more TVs in his house. So he changes rooms every time just to try and swing momentum. He starts in the garage. He goes out the back. He's got the spare theatre room. He's got a little flat screen in the toilet. You go to the he's like an iPad in the kitchen, and then you go out the main room and there's one there. He goes into his bedroom. His electricity bill, the skunk, it'd be through the roof. So,
we got to give West Coast some love, Das. We got to give them something. This is their first win. That was their second longest losing streak ever in their history. It's their first win since since they beat the D's last year. I think.
I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure it's their first win since they beat the D's last year. But when they win, what it needs to look like is Harley Reid kicking 2, back to his explosive best. He looked good again today. It's Jake Waterman. It's Liam Ryan. It's Oscar Allen. It's defending. It's Brady Huff, who's an up-and-comer. Like I've been talking about him I love him. Now he's done his back pocket apprenticeship. They're like, nah, this kid can play. Let's get him up around the ball more. It's him. It's Elijah Hewitt. I'm just so happy for him. Like it's Tim Kelly looking like he cares at half forward. Yeah. Like he's still a good AFL footballer, Tim Kelly. Just needs to get him invested at half forward. Like this is what it had to look like for West Coast to win. They did it without McGovern today. They held up in the back line. Like, yeah, I'm so happy for him. Like as you said, it's going to be a big night in WA. They love a Sunday sesh. They must love working shit house on Mondays.
Who do we
ask? They love a Sunday sesh in WA.
When we asked Scully, we're like, what is the go? They're like, people just come to work Monday shit house. It's just known. Like if we ever have Stereo Sonic or like a music festival, Future Music, ours was always on a Saturday. It was always in Sunday in Perth. I'm like, how the fuck is that on a Sunday? They just either take RDOs off or they're just so chilled in WA. So watching the game, I felt like, because this is the first time I've actually looked at the stats, apart from my multi, looked like West Coast held the tempo the entire game and they held onto it. But
they won it every quarter. Yeah, they won it every quarter. They just played well.
No, but look at the stats. Like St Kilda had so much of it. But every time I was watching, it felt like they were controlling tempo of the ball. I just wanted to mention, I messaged you straight away. I'm like, how different is the body language of Harley Reid when they're winning?
When they're winning and he gets it.
Helping teammates up. He was lively at stoppages. And I'm just like, it's a different man. And then he started taking hangers. Like he took the hanger and picked Oscar Allen up.
When like Liam Ryan's kicking a goal or Brady Huff's kicking a goal, he's like getting around him with a big smile on his face. Like that's the Harley Reid we want to see, not the guy when they're losing and he's copping a bit of a tag that just looks like he's playing for a different team than West Coast. So like it's like the umpires are out there, West Coast are out there, the opposition are out there, then he's playing for the fourth team. Like he looks so disinterested. That's like when you see that and you go, if we can turn this team into a 10-win team and he becomes happy here, you can see what the upside's going to be. That 2-goal and 15 touch game will be a 3-goal, 26 touch game like Dusty used to do. And you can like see the generational player. 20's gone bad and he's young and he cracks the shit. But I'm just so happy for him. Like they're going to be pumped.
A
win.
Winning stood out, Jev, today, and 100% you would have noticed him today. Number 28.
Tom Cole.
Tom Cole.
Baby.
Did you know?
No, I didn't notice him.
Did you notice him?
I didn't notice him. Who was he playing on? Was he playing on Cooper Sharman?
He was playing. Yeah, he was around there. He doesn't really play on a player. He just sort of hovers around. So if anyone doesn't know, he's number 28, Tom Cole, West Coast, 2018 Premiership player. He had 15 disposals today. Jeff 3 tackles. I'm surprised you didn't say it.
Good on him. Good on him.
He's won a fucking flag.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Look at his photo. Tell me if you know that face. He looks.
No, I don't.
He looks like he served you at charcoal chicken.
He looks like if Dion Prestia got microwaved for 10 minutes. He looks like Dion Prestia. He looks like Dom Sheed's Mexican brother. That's what he looks like. Dom Sheed's Mexican brother. And it's like, I just don't know who he is.
This looks like Dom Sheed.
Sorry.
Yeah, Dom Sheed if he rocks up to a Mexican party.
If I went to Taco Bell and he's like, hey, welcome, you want a fish bowl and a taco? I'm like, thanks, Tom Cole. I didn't know you played for West Coast. Fuck. So winning cues everything. They get their first win on the board. What? So the Saints, the Saints on the same wins as the Swans, but like they're going nowhere, are they? No. It's funny that we talk so much shit about the Saints on the same wins as the Swans and Carlton. Yeah. I don't care. I know we're better than them. Yeah. I just know we're better than them. They're a Zach Butters and a Zach Merritt away from a premiership. Maybe it's more than that. They need Max King back. Cal Wilkie you watch Cal Wilkie, he's just a star. Like, he played on Mudflap all day. He did a good job on him. Mudflap kicked the early one and he kicked the late one. And then it was 2.5 quarters of domination by Wilkie. He's just a star.
Hey, so before you do the odds, this is 2 weeks in a row watching West Coast closely. They have some young players that are fucking hungry. Like, they fly around. They don't pass, but they don't pass it off. Like, there's so many times they're having pings from everywhere. And I watched the player because you know when you see people roast them, they'd never look at them to say sorry. Yeah. They just sort of like just go back to their position.
I watched one today. The winger came from the far side, and the bloke was like cutting across to have a snap, and he was right in his eye line. He just had to hit the drop punt. He just snapped and missed. It's like fuck. But to be fair, like it looked like today, it was less about touching the ball and more about efficiency, like hands, get it forward. Yeah. Not like you look at the touches, it was Sinclair 38, Wangani Malira and McRae 27. Like Saints had all the ball, but West Coast kicked all the goals. So
yeah,
Higgins for 5 was $15. This is where the money was made. Oscar Allen for 2 was $2.75. Harley Reid for 2 was $7.50. Mudflat for 2 was just $1.50. Liam Ryan for 2 was $3.10. Mason Wood for 2 was $2.20. Bailey Williams for 2 was $4.40. Darcy Wilson for 2 was $9.50. Nice. Brady Huff for his first ever goal was $5.25. Nice. Jack Graham for 1 was $3.30. And Matt Flynn for 1 was $3.60. I don't reckon one person on earth, even if you had the last name Flynn, had Matt Flynn for a goal.
No.
And then Jack Sinclair for 35, he had 38, was $11. Rowan Marshall for 25 was $6.50. And Brady Huff for 20 was $2.60. But that was all the real value in the touches.
There's so much money to be made.
Oh, today, when I've got this, it's just like, God, you could have made some money.
I want to plug this into like an algorithm, and it's just like, give us the roughies.
So true.
That it should pop up today for like,
and this is what we got StatMate for and everything. But it's like, why would this bloke pop up today? Like, why was Darcy Wilson kicking 2 today? And it's like the offside wingers against West Coast always pop up in the goal square and stuff. I don't know. Anyway,
hey, that's probably like an hour and 40. Morgs has got to edit this.
Yeah, that's heaps. He's going to be buggered. You guys, if anyone made it this far, comment Brady Huff's legacy game. Comment Tom Cole tacos.
Yeah, Tom Cole tacos.
Dom Sheed's Mexican brother, Tom Cole. If you made it this far, we appreciate you. That is the roast. Thank you so much.
You guys
are
awesome.
Bye. Garth, back on the 100K, so we can't wait.
What are you prepared to lose today? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.